So what we're coming into is called the Upper Noosa River. Now this is still quite salty at the moment, as you can tell because of the nice mangroves and also the colour of the water. Mangroves are pretty important in the environment. They help filter out the salt water, keep it nice and clean. They also make great habitats for like mud crabs, Saratogens, mangrove jack. You know, this has been flooded lately, probably about 4 days ago. That jetty you see right there on the left was completely underwater, just to the left. The highest it got was to about where that sign is that says authorised vessels only. That's how high the water got through here. With all the rain, it does flood out here quite a lot. Now you don't get any crocodiles, if that's what you're hoping to see. We are too far down, so the water temperature is not hot enough, neither is the climate. But how the way climate change is going and is warming up the waters, we will start seeing come further down. What animals that you might see today? Well, you might see a whole bunch of birds. We do have a lot of birds out here. We do have koalas as well. If you were to spot koalas, they'll be up the top of the trees where the leaves are, the very top, not down the bottom. We do have lizard, a laced monolith lizard called a goanna. He grows up to be about 2 metres long. Just on the right, on one of the little sticks coming out the water, just towards it, you can see a bird there. That's called a little black cormorant. Now he hunts the little prawns that hang around here. We do have a fair amount of prawns that do hang around. Because of the fresh water, they do grow a little bit bigger. So they hunt the prawns. You can see him just there on the stick. You might jump in the water if we get too close. Yeah, and the creek to our left, down there, that's called Kin. Now Kin Creek runs all the way to the township Kin. We don't go down the creek because there's not much for you to see. Named after a local black ant. A lot of words around here have double meanings, like Noosa means shady place, or Rujidor means black swan. A lander of the boat you're on means beautiful place. Yeah, the best photo I reckon you can take, guys, is either at the very front of the boat or down the back here. They're the two nicest spots. At the front of the boat, you take it before the boat drives through it, so you don't get the ripples. And down the back here, you get the boat in the photo. So they're the two nicest part of the boat to take a nice photo. You might, as we come around the corner before we go into Lake Fig Tree, you might slow down, turn the engines off and see if you can hear some nice birds in the trees. Just because you hear them doesn't mean you'll see them though. You'll get a pretty nice photo at the front of the boat as you come around. There's two nice openings that you can take as we come around the corner. Yeah, if you be quiet for a bit, you'll hear how nice and quiet it is out here. Yeah, so we'll take the one to the left. We can't go right because that leads to a shallow section as we get in there. I don't think you guys want to hop out and help me push the boat, because I definitely don't. As we come onto Lake Victory here, this will be the last saltwater place that we see. As we come off it, we'll come into our fresh water. Still quite salty at the moment though. You'll also see the vegetation will change as we come out to Lake Victory as well. So yeah, this is Lake Victory that we're coming out onto now. Nowhere near as big as Lake Afara or as windy. It is protected. There'll be nice Melaleuca trees and nice kauri pines all around us, which do keep us really nice and protected, this lake. You can see that nice sandy patch there up on the coloured sands towards the right. You can only just see as we come a little bit to the other side of the lake, that will start going away. Lake Victory is an important place for the Gubby Gubby people. Well, Lake Victory Point is. Victory Point straight across from us. It's where the jetty comes out. It's also where the couple signs are over there. It's just straight across. That's what Lake Victory is named after, Victory Point. Victory Point was an important place for the Gubby Gubby people. They used it as their meeting place as they walked from where Fraser was to where Moreton Bay in Brisbane is, depending in the different climates. You know, when it's a lot hotter, a lot more humid, they'll be down near Moreton Bay in Brisbane, and a lot cooler than Fraser. But when Brisbane and Moreton Bay started going into the winter, it started getting too cold, so they'll walk from there up to where Fraser was. So in the two different climates, they would change. They used to use Victory Point here as their halfway place. Now in 1838, the loggers started coming through here, and they displaced the Gubby Gubby people. They were at Victory Point from 1838 to 1878. In 1878, all your nice Melaleuca trees and all your kauri pines to the left, they weren't there. That was all cleared out. And you can see where it's clear, where it's growing back. You start your eyes at the jetty, which is towards the front of us. You make your way left towards the back. You can see where your nice kauri pines jump up another couple of foot. All them low-lying trees weren't there. Now that was a cattle farm. In 1878, turned into a cattle farm. In 1878, the loggers moved up to a place called Harry's Hut. Then the group came through and they took up a 99-year lease from the National Park. 3 kids grew up on that cattle farm in 1920, then 3 kids decided to leave, so the cattle farm sat abandoned from 1920 to 1975. In 1975, another 2 cattle farms, the one at the Habitat and the one up near Harry's Hut, folded. So the National Park came back through and took it up, took up all the 3 leases. We're at 70,000 hectares, which we are now. 1978, that's when they built the information centre as the park rangers, because this was too big for someone to monitor and they wanted someone to be out here stationary. Then the rangers kind of argued against it, saying they lived too far away from civilization, so now the ranger just comes out by day. As you drive across to the other side of the lake, you can notice that your mangroves are starting to go away and this nice sedge grass is starting to come out, and your nice Melaleuca tea tree as well. We aren't in an Everglades yet, we're still in quite salty water. As we drive straight across, we'll take a little creek that comes off this lake, and this is when we'll start coming into our fresh water. I'll tell you when we're in our fresh water, and you'll notice by the colour of the water will start to change as well. Yeah, so that's Sea Tree Point where the little beach is and where the jetty is. It's just a little point out onto this lake. Has some really nice Kalula figs, that's where it got its name from. This is the spring spot. Yeah, so you can see that nice sedge grass has come out now, and so has your nice Melaleuca tree. As we come around the corner, we'll come into a nice straight part. In that straight part, this is where it turns from salt to fresh, or fresh to salt, depends how you want to say it. This is where you start getting the downstream pressure of your freshwater that runs out of the Everglades, and this is where the salt tidal pressure starts to ease off. Now we have set up a little bar down the back here, guys. There's some apple juice, some pineapple juice, a beer, which is the Everglades Lager. It's 5.2%, made back at our local microbrewery. And then we do have a Prosecco from the King Valley. So feel free to come and get yourself a drink, guys. And if you want seconds, you're more than welcome to. It's up to yourself. But yeah, just come and ask Maddie down the back here, and she'll pour you a nice drink. Yeah. Don't be hesitant, guys. You're more than welcome to come up and get yourself a drink. And if you do want water, guys, there is a big jug of water down the back here, so feel free to get yourself a water if you want. So you'll notice the vegetation will change a whole bunch of times the further we drive up. The nice sedge grass will always stay though. Yeah, so we'll take this right turn coming up. This will take us into the Everglades. As we come to the right turn, we'll come to... Yeah, so we'll take this nice right turn coming up. Now you're probably wondering, what does an Everglades mean? Well, Everglades means sandy, marshy wetlands with everlasting water. And now what does that mean? Well, there's several underground springs underneath us that run from here all the way up to our Rainbow Beaches. Now these underground springs are fed from the ocean. As the water comes through the sand from the ocean, that sand acts like a filter, takes away the salt, turns it to fresh. Now when it hits these underground springs that are underneath us, that then forces it out of your sandy, marshy wetlands. Now you won't see it bubbling out because you've got this nice sedge grass that grows on top. As it goes through the roots of your melaleuca tree as it's coming out of the sandy, marshy wetlands, they stain it this nice orangey reddish colour that you see. Now when this orangey reddish colour settles, it creates your black. Now when the black settles, you get your nice mirrored reflections. Now these melaleuca trees are also a tea tree, so they also put a tea tree oil in. So that's how you get your nice tea tree oil in here. So that's an Everglades. There's always an everlasting system. Now if the ocean was to dry out, or if the lake was to dry out, there'd be 60 years worth of water still trying to make themselves out of the underground springs. So that's why it's so different to everywhere else. It's got this nice everlasting water. It won't ever dry out. That's why there's only 2 in the world. One here and one in Florida. Now this stretches for 54 kilometres. And we don't drive the 54 kilometres a day because that will probably take us about 4 days to do. We drive about 5 kilometres, not even 2.5. Further we come up, we'll come around the corners and these winds should drop right off and you should get some lovely reflections. The best photo you can take when we do come into our reflections is where you hold your wine glass outside the boat and you take the photo of your wine glass and the reflection behind it. Now feel free guys, if you want to come down and ask me any questions throughout today, or if you want to come down and have a chat, I don't mind. I'm pretty nice guy. I won't bite at you unless you brought food, I might. Yeah, so you can see as now we've started to come up, your nice banksias that come out. They've got that big bottle brush leaf and a nice big flower in the middle of it. They're them low-lying little bushes. Now you will see some of them will have a nice brownish yellowish flower in the middle. That's the new flower. That dark grey flower is the old flower. But it's been over here. Some other boats done calls from everywhere. Oh yeah. Yeah. I live in Greenwich. Yeah, you can see that nice reflections come out now, especially as that wind's gone away. And you can see that nice banks here, some of them have that nice flower on them. They make a pretty nice photo, the banks here, especially if you get a nice reflection of it. As you come up a little bit further, we'll come into your windy bends. Now in these windy bends, this is the best part, I reckon. The windy bends, all the cabbage palm forest, which is a little bit further up. You can notice some of the trees are quite burnt black, and that's because 4.5 years ago there was a bushfire that happened through here. Now it burnt most of this national park. We have a pretty high population of koalas through here, but after the fires they did drop substantial. Now this fire was started up near Double Island Point. It was started up by an old campfire, someone didn't put it out properly and the wind blew up, sparked this fire. Happened just at the end of 2019. So the same time as the great fires between New South Wales and Victoria happened, this fire was going. You can't put the fire out when it's in this national park because there's no road for trucks to come out through. There's just one road that takes you up to Harry's Hut. Other than that, you can't come out, so you just got to let it burn. It's pretty devastating for the wildlife, so you just got to let it burn. Now we do have dingo and deer through here as well, not just koalas and goannas.
Beautiful, eh? Beautiful, eh?
Yeah. Finish.
Pretty nice, that, eh? Nice. Peaceful.
As we come out of the windy bends, we'll slow down, we'll turn the engines off. Especially as we come, you can see the wind will break its way through every now and then. So you'll get these ripples that come out of nowhere. That's just the wind making its way through the trees. When we get back, we come in for a bit of dust, then you'll get about 200 close around the honeygrove coming out. You get pretty close to these ones. Alright, what's the transition? Yeah, so you won't, we're just talking about kangaroos and stuff, you won't get kangaroos through this national park because it's so marshy and wet and because the vegetation's so dense, it's too hard for them to jump through. You see the vegetation will get a lot denser the further we drive up. You'll also start to notice this nice Banksias will go away. Now there's 80 different types of Banksias here in Australia. The Banksias you're seeing now you call just swamp. Now there's different types of swamp Banksias, but this is just a general type. And then you have a coastal Banksia which is around the corner, I'll show you that out. And then you have a desert Banksia, and they're the three most common Banksias that you'll see. All this water's made its way down, really steep down this end. Further up, not as steep. Some further up, you get turtles.
Although we do get some turtles in here, don't we? We get those
Yeah, they don't tend to come this far down because a lot of boats drive through here.
Yeah. That's okay, no problem at all.
So there are your Banksias through here, and then the smaller ones, some nice Lucas tea trees, Lucas tea tree, black sternum. Them ones, these are called Banksia. Big bottle rush leaf and nice big flower. Yeah, this specify again. Your Banksias are the ones with the big bottle rush leaf and a nice big flower in the middle of them. They'll start going away the further we go up. And the further we go up, we get into more dense bush, and we come to more of our palms and our flooded gums and our spotted gums. So yeah, just on the left here, that's another type of Banksia. You can see it's got the kind of little bit smaller leaves, more of a tree. That's called a coastal Banksia. You can see just there. Now you can see the different stages of flower. And the green flower, the green will turn into that nice brown, and the brown will turn into the dark grey. As we come around the corner, I'm going to slow my engines down we'll turn it off and you'll hear the nice serenity that we do have out here. So if you do be quiet for a couple minutes, guys, and you might hear some nice birds and stuff. Yeah, so as we do come across, you might see something, especially on the right, that grows about halfway up the tree. Now it's called a termite's nest. Now termites build their nest about halfway up the trees to get away from the rising water. As we do flood through here, the water does rise. It's like a little grey sack that kind of grows off the tree. It's called a termite's nest. Now if you do see a hole in it, that's made from a kingfisher. Kingfisher will burrow the termite's nest out and then she'll lay her eggs in there. But just up here, especially you come past this low-lying tree, on that skinny one, you can see it growing off the side of the termite's nest. You can see it just up there. Everyone spotted it. Now you're more than welcome to shuffle over to the right if you do want to have a look. It's just up that little tree. So you got the termite's nest. There's one on the other tree as well. But yeah, that's your termite's nest, just up the top. Has everyone seen it? Who hasn't seen it? Oh, just when it floods, so they build up there when the water floods, the water rises, so they're way off. They're not like your normal termites that build their nest on the ground, otherwise they would get washed away through here. Yeah, so the kingfisher and kookaburras do the same. They'll burrow that termite's nest out. They'll lay their eggs in there so when they hatch, they have something to eat. So when they hatch, they eat all the little termites inside. And if you do get the chance and you see them come out, they'll look red because of the mud that's inside them. You know, kingfisher's a little blue bird about the size of your fist. Has a nice brown belly. Now you might see a couple. They're pretty hard to take photos of because they don't stay still for too long. Yeah, just as we came out of them bends, you can see how dense the vegetation's got. It's kind of changed into more of like a rainforest, I reckon.
Und am Boden war vorne, wisst ihr, diese blauen Matten.
Eigentlich auch ein schöner Urlaub. Nur in Berlin. Lustig, oder?
So as we just come around the corner, we'll come into what we call Cabbage Pine Forest. Now we call it Cabbage Pine Forest because when they flower, you can cut the flower out and eat it out of the plants. It does taste quite sweet. It was #1 list on the WW people. As soon as you cut it out though, you do kill the plant. They flower about 2 to 3 times a year. As we come around the corner, if the other boat's not sitting in this nice cabbage pine forest, we'll turn our engines off and we'll float through here. Because the cabbage pines make a real nice flower, especially when you get that nice palm leaf that hangs over. You can also see a nice vines come out now. We call this a silk pod vine. Native to the area, has covered the trees. So yes, this is this nice cabbage pine forest that we're coming into. Now these cabbage pines survive the most during the fires because when you burn a pine, you give it a new meaning in life. You revegetate it so it grows back nice and beautiful and green again. The husk that comes off it you can actually use for like fires. It's quite flammable. We're going to slow down guys and we'll sit in here for a bit. These make a really nice photo coming through here. Sometimes the reflections can be so good through here you can't tell which is up and which is down on your phone. Now just on the left as we come past these low-lying trees, just on the left hand side of the boat, you'll see a nice clearing in the sedge grass there. Now that's from wild pigs. We do try and trap and bait wild pigs because they cause deforestation. So these two little cleared spots, you can see there'll be a sign there. That's a revegetation sign the rangers have put in to stop people walking up on there because they're not meant to. But yeah, that's from wild pigs. They're pretty vicious through here. The tree to the right, you can see that nice, just that big nice creamy tree there. That's a gum tree, so that's what you'll see your koalas on, the eucalyptus gums, which are them ones just there. So if you do spot a koala, he'll be up the very top. Not saying there's one on that tree. Enjoying it, guys? Yeah? Enjoying it? Yeah, very much so. Enjoying it, guys? Enjoying it? Yeah?
Beautiful out here.
Enjoying it up here, guys? Yeah?
Yep.
How's it out the front here? Yeah? Yeah, nice. I'll roll the ramp with it. You can take a photo of the ramp.
Not a bit high.
No, you can't. Looks well fixed, isn't it? It's all around.
Further up. There's no really interior to cross on other things.
Nee, nicht hier jetzt, aber in Australien werde ich ein bayerisches Krankenhaus.
Die Joints?
Ja, wie kann man denn so bis wieder frei ist?
For this? Ja. Yeah. It comes from the ocean, it comes with the sand, and as it comes with the sand, it filters it, so it's salt is fresh, and there's several underground springs that run from here all out to the Rainbow Beach. And the water is, as the water gets pushed out of the ground and goes through the nice icy wetness that you're seeing now, and they go through the roots of the Melbourne tree, which are these nice magpie trees that you're seeing, and they stain it with nice colour as you're seeing. It also gives it a feature of if the water dries out, there's still be 50 years worth of water underneath. It might drop a little bit, but still will be a water source. Yeah. Glad you came. Yeah, it's beautiful. I enjoy every day. The hardest job. Everyone asks me, what's the job like? And I say, oh, well, I think it's the hardest job out there, I reckon. To come out and do this every day, it must be really tough and hard. No, it's a pretty good job if you got it coming out here. Some days are raining, but I reckon when it's raining, it's a different type of beautiful. You know, you get the nice. It's really nice and green out here when it rains, and you get the nice raindrops on top of the water surface. But days like sunny today, you get the best reflections you've ever seen in your life out here. You know, I haven't seen reflections this good in the last month, because the last month has been raining non-stop out here. This is probably the first day the sun's been out the whole day and hasn't rained a little bit.